John, can you explain a little bit about this fire?
Yeah, well, our units responded. Well, first of all, Pete, I'm just going to say, our hearts go out to the family and the neighbors in this community. It was a very tragic event. Um, Again, these mobile homes are very highly combustible, and our units were on scene very quickly, and it was fully involved at that time. So our crews tried to enter the mobile home, and they couldn't get access because of the heat. Very frantic situation with neighbors telling us that there were possibly two people, well, there were two people in the structure, and three people had gotten out.
Do you know the ages of the people that, like, I take it all of them live there?
Yeah, I know I'm not sure of the mother, but there were three young girls, one 7, 9, and a 20-month-old. So I know that the grandmother and the 20-month-old are unaccounted for at this time.
When you got the call, do you remember the time?
Yeah, it was about 6:45 p.m.
And arrived on scene?
About 7 minutes later, our Station 3 in Bayside in the volunteer hall. And in any structure fire, we tier 2 stations, and our second hall came from Battawa.
When you were coming to the scene, you knew you had a working fire just by the...
Yeah, and multiple 911 calls, and we could actually see the smoke coming down the highway.
What were conditions like when you got on scene?
Just a raging fire. Again, a mobile home at this age, I think it was built in the late 60s, 70s. 2x4 construction, 2x2 construction, very highly combustible. And within 2 to 5 minutes, it was fully involved. And that's standard with this kind of structure.
Obviously don't know cause yet, but you know area of origin and smoke detectors?
Yeah, we're not sure about the smoke detectors, and I do know from our investigators that this possibly could have been a grease fire in the kitchen area. So we're working today with the OFM and the OPP, and we'll confirm that.
Is there a possibility that there weren't smoke detectors? I just heard you saying.
Well, I know that our initial crews on scene didn't hear any. That doesn't mean to say that there weren't, but we'll be checking to see if there are.
You've seen lots of fires, but these mobile homes, and looking at this one, it's a daytime fire. It's a mobile home. In a way, it's hard to believe it got roaring that fast. But like you said, with the combustible materials.
Yeah, they're just raging, and our people did a great job. You can see the two exposures on each side. The siding actually melted. If it had been a windy day, we probably would have had another structure go up.
Strictly defensive attack?
Yes, they tried to make an entry a couple times, and they were just drawn back with the intense heat.
Any injuries to the other occupants?
One neighbor, I'm not sure if he was a relative or not, tried to go back in, and he received major burns, and what I'm told was taken to a burn unit in Toronto.
When something like this happens, it hit home.
Yes, it does. And in any fire like this, we immediately do a debriefing afterwards with all our firefighters, and we'll be following up too within the next few days and weeks to come and see if anybody's having issues.
Investigation, but you can sure see it was a well-seeded fire.
Yeah, it's preliminary stages right now. We just have investigators getting on site, and they'll start their their scene process methodically and determine what resources they need in order to successfully come to determination on what the origin and cause was. We'll be working in coordination with the Queenie West Fire Department and the Ontario Provincial Police to bring the investigation to a conclusion.
Does it seem like there's more this year with fires? There was a double fatality in Oshawa a short time ago, a few weeks ago. Or is it just that it just seems like that? Because it just seems there's a lot more serious fires of late.
We've had a tragic few weeks where we have had a higher number of fatalities than we would like. Sometimes these events occur sporadically, but we have had several recently that were increases our numbers, and it's it's very, very tragic. I don't believe it has anything in particular. I just think it's been a particularly bad month.
One of the things you look for, I would take it in each fire, along with cause, is working smoke detectors.
Well, in regard to this particular building, that's yet to be determined whether there was a smoke alarm active or functioning. In general, smoke alarms, as most people are aware, are a pertinent part of providing escape whenever a fire does occur in a residence. But in this particular case, it's undetermined whether there's was an active smoke alarm or not.
Last question: with smoke alarms, early detection is key for life saving, as much as possible. Early detection is key. Having that smoke alarm helps.
Yeah, like it's a two-prong situation there. Is you want detection, but you also want to be mindful of your escape as well, because fires can move rapidly depending on what's caused them. So we always try to instill with everybody that not only make sure that you do have a working smoke alarm, but the fact that you have in mind exactly how you're going to get out of your residence as well.
Last question: with these new houses, like fire officials have said time and time again, a lot of flammable materials being built these days. Toxic flammable materials.
There's a lot of materials that do provide excellent fuel in the case of a fire. In general, some of these items in recent years, the quality of their construction does aid to the fact that they do provide for excellent fuel and to allow fires to progress.